How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Transport Fever 2, and welcome back to Miramar. Things are going pretty well at the moment. We're sitting on $2.5 billion, and we're starting to see some upgrades to all of our new lines. The farm is now producing, or can now produce, up to 600 grain. It is only producing about 400 right now because that's essentially what this guy's consuming, which is fair enough. And this guy's not going to bother leveling up until the goods factory down here does the same thing. And the goods factory isn't going to level up until our consumer, which is Miramar, decides that it happens to want more goods. Alternatively, I could start moving goods to Thousand Oaks. They happen to want 40. We could start moving them up to Mesquite. They happen to want 94. Or we could do both. I'm also going to let you know right off the bat, right at the start of the episode, I just got done eating some lasagna. It was very good, but let me tell you something about lasagna. Okay, let me let you in a little thing here. Sometimes very difficult to know how warm it is in the middle. I burnt my tongue and it really hurts. So talking kind of hurts. And I have a little bit of, occasionally there's like a little bit of a lisp going on and I'm trying to like control it because my tongue really hurts. So I'm just letting you know that that's what's going on. I'm still pre-recording stuff. So there's going to be a handful of videos in the channel over the next couple of days to probably have me, I'll work through it. It'll be fine. If it gets bad, I've got some really good Japanese whiskey on the shelf. I'll break into that. It's going to make the next couple of videos really interesting if I do. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start bringing some goods up into Mesquite, and we're going to take them over to Thousand Oaks as well. So let's go for right about here. And then over in Thousand Oaks, we are going to go for basically right in the middle of town. We could use this same truck stop if we really wanted to. I don't necessarily know that I want to, but I think I will at the very least go through here and upgrade some roads because it's looking like it's getting quite busy in there. So we'll upgrade these guys and we'll upgrade this guy as well. And that's basically all of our roads that lead sort of through the city. We have this one as well, actually, which is a pretty major one. So let's upgrade you as well so that all of the major roads that lead around, well, in and around Thousand Oaks are going to be nicely covered here. We'll do the same thing up to about that point so that, again, actually, we'll go up to about there. We might as well. So that, again, we have some pretty good coverage. We'll do the same thing here. And that should keep us pretty good. We'll smooth that out as well, so that we have all of those roads covered. And that'll hopefully help traffic a little bit. It looks like it already is. It also kind of looks like this road's a little bit busier than I realized. So maybe we just upgrade you as well. Maybe just the road going straight through town could do with a bit of an upgrade there. So something like that should be just fine. And I think, I mean, we have the trucks coming in. I guess what we could do is use the same truck stop. I think that's completely fine. I am going to put a waypoint right here though, and I'm gonna put one right about there as well because I want the trucks to come in and then sort of around a very specific path to get back out, so that'll be completely fine. So I guess if we come down here, what we can do is potentially look into some new truck stops here, but I think realistically what I'm going to do is just build another platform because another 2 platforms. I don't think we're going to have, well, we might have a lot of trucks coming and going here, actually. I think we'll do the 2 platforms for the time being, but we might end up with a lot more trucks than I'm anticipating right now, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead from here, and that is going to be going to platform 7, and that'll be totally fine. And then from platform 7, you're going to go to Mesquite, and you're going to loop around like that, apparently, which is fair enough. I'd kind of prefer if it didn't sort of go up this way. So I'm almost wondering if I want to use some waypoints to kind of control this as well. So it comes in that way, it comes down this way, and it can sort of go out that way. So if we go back to the line, so after the transfer, you're going to want to go to here. And then after West Street, you're going to want to go to there. And I'm going to say that's fine. A little bit unnecessary, but I'm going to say that's completely fine. We'll go ahead and make sure you are only loading up on goods down here. And then that's going to be, I guess, road cargo, and then Mesquite is MESQUITE, and that is going to be goods delivery. We'll go ahead and copy that as well. And then Mesquite, I guess, color wise, let's just do What have we got around? We got some light blue, we got some pink. Let's just do a green in there for the mesquite line. And so now I guess with the Thousand Oaks line in here, I want to see what exactly it's doing. It does look like it is going right through the heart of Miramar, which I kind of expected it would. I was sort of hoping it would take this lower road down here and sort of cut up this way, which would be interesting to say the very least. It would definitely make it a longer line, but in fairness, it would be avoiding the traffic in Miramar, so that might be worth doing. I might give that a shot, and we might just have to see how it goes. So I'm going to put a waypoint right here. I'm going to put a waypoint right here, and I'm going to do the same thing, just a ways away up here as well. And then what we can do is go and take a look at this line. We can manage it, and then after the Miramar transfer, I want you to go right here. And it is now doing what I wanted it to do, which is great. It is looping the entire way back. So after Elm Street, bit of a nightmare there, we'll go ahead down to here as well. So basically it cuts in that way. It is a longer route, but it is avoiding a whole lot of the traffic, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Now, the last thing I'd like to do before I go ahead and get all this working is I want to just tidy up this road here, because it is a little bit nasty. I don't love how traffic is going to be coming in there. So what we'll do is get ourselves just a simple little road. It's going to come off of here, something like that. And then down here, I'm going to take this back for a second. I'm going to take you back for a second, and we'll extend this out in a nice straight line. We can grab you and bring you forward straight through there. And that is perfectly fine. And then all I need to do really is bring this guy sort of straight up to here. I might actually connect it to that top road. That's probably not a terrible idea. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. We'll just sort of run it straight through here. And then we can hopefully tidy things up a little bit, because it is a little bit nasty in between there. So if I just do this, it does still dip down, but I think it's more level, which is kind of what I'm going for. We'll take that part out. And then all I need to do is extend this guy straight over, and we're going to be good. So let's start to take a look at the demand in Mesquite. It's currently 94 for goods. So Mesquite goods delivery is going to need a rate of 94. We'll aim for 100. It's not going to be matching that. We're not going to be delivering all that right now, but eventually we'll get there, and that's what we're looking for. So we'll start with 10 trucks, and it is a goods delivery. I think we went with this color on the trucks. So Mesquite goods delivery, that gives us 99. You know what? I'll take it. That's pretty solid. If we go and have a look at Thousand Oaks, it is 40. So we'll head back down this way. We'll get ourselves another handful of vehicles. We'll go for these guys. I'm going to go for 8 of them. I don't know if 8's even going to be enough, because this is quite a long line now that it's sort of going the long way around, but that's probably fine. So Thousand Oaks goods delivery, if we go and have a look at that line, it is 56. And honestly, that'll do for the time being. And then looking down this way, we should start to see, and we are starting to see goods get dropped onto the new lines. We should start to see, and we are starting to see the shipment increase down here, because we're now moving more things to more locations. If we look at our consumers, Mesquite's getting 12, Thousand Oaks is getting 7. Those numbers will increase. This will upgrade. We'll start making more goods. We'll start making more planks. We'll start making more everything. And that's the goal. Now, my next goal, and this is one that I've been talking about for a little bit, is to get McAllen to grow. So we need machines and or food. And I sort of got thinking about this a little bit, because I realized we have Bridgeport Farm up here, and then we have Bridgeport Livestock Farm right here. So why don't I bring some grain to the livestock, and then take the livestock over to Laredo Meat Processing Plant, bring that meat down to here, and then we can potentially, I mean, our production is doing pretty good up here as it is. Realistically, this actually isn't leveling up because of there's not enough consumers actually. So we might not need to do that. I was trying to avoid just having a giant line to bring food down into thousands. Well, we already have that one, food down into McAllen, but honestly, I might just do it. I mean, McAllen wants what? 100 food? And this guy is capable of producing up to 600. It's currently shipping out, what, 400 out of a potential 600. So we have an extra 100 food that we could move out of here down to McAllen. So I think realistically, that's maybe just what we do. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea. So what we will do is just go ahead and expand these platforms a little bit, because we're about to get this place to be a little bit busier, which might not be an amazing idea, but it's what I'm going to go for. And I think I'm just going to make this much, much longer. I think that's kind of where I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to max out the length that these things can be, because I might try and have this just be one massive food processing plant for the entire region. Because we have a few places, San Antonio, Thousand Oaks, McAllen, obviously Miramar as well. They all want food. Bridgeport doesn't. So we said San Antonio, we said Thousand Oaks, we said Miramar. We're about to do McAllen, this place, and Salinas as well. Although Salinas does have a food processing plant next to it, so we could lean on that. Regardless, I don't think we're gonna. I think what we're gonna do is look at this thing, look at the terminals, and we're gonna say, you go to terminal 1, you go to terminal 2, you go to terminal 3. I said terminal 2 for you, thank you very much. And I think what we'll do is go ahead and limit these lines. So if we look at you, so San Antonio, managed line, you are currently going to terminal 3. I'm going to stick it to terminal 3. I think that's what we do. And I think we just limit these and see how it goes. So similar story here. Terminal 2 is the only one you're going to be going for. And then for you, it should be terminal, I have no idea which one it's supposed to be. For you, we want to manage the line. So it's Augusta sidings, terminal 1, not going to 2. And that's basically what we're looking for. So each one has its own little platform. And then we can use these other ones to bring stuff down to not Thousand Oaks, down to McAllen and Salinas or wherever we want to go to. So I think that'll work. It's going to be a very long truck line. Realistically, we could do a train. That is a hell of a distance for trucks to be going. But admittedly, we do have this really nice road that cuts down through Thousand Oaks and does connect straight down to McAllen. So I'm kind of willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to see what happens. And then in terms of the deliveries, they're going to be coming in on this road. So let's have them come over this way and we can just stop right about there. And that should be fine. Let me do some waypoints just to make sure that is what it's going to do. So we want to go like this. We'll then bring it around. It can probably hit that road on the way out, I guess. So we'll sort of go that way. And let's see, it comes down here. It can go that way as well. So that should be perfectly fine. All right. Let's get this set up. Let's get some stuff down to McAllen and let's just see if this works. I've also got the game paused while I'm doing this. Again, I need to stop doing that. Really need to stop doing that. So this is going to be road cargo. It is McAllen and it's going to be food delivery. Now, interestingly, that line did decide to just stick to the main sort of interstate here, which I can't say I'm necessarily surprised by it doing, but it is a little frustrating that it decided to do that. So we're going to have to go a little bit further back here. So after Augusta sidings, I need it to come down to this waypoint, which it's now doing. And then after McAllen waypoint 4, which is, let's see, that's waypoint 3, that's waypoint 4. So after waypoint 3, we need it to come up and go to this one as well. That way, it is going to be going through Thousand Oaks, which isn't good for traffic, but it's fine. That's the route that I want it to go, and that's what it's going to do. So with that now done, we basically need to get enough vehicles on that line to have a rate of 100. So we'll pin this. We'll head over here. We're going to get ourselves some vehicles. It is going to be these guys here. We'll start with 15 of them because it is quite a long line. And I don't remember what color I went for food. So I don't even know if I recolored the food lines. We'll do a nice light green. I don't know if that's a bit much, but we'll do a nice light green. We'll go down to McAllen food delivery and we're looking at 77. Honestly, not bad. Give me another 5 of those. That should bring it up to 110-ish, 103. That's fine. My numbers were a little bit wrong, but that's okay. So they can head out, they can do their thing, and we should, in theory, hopefully, start to see a little bit of food getting dumped out. There we go, onto the McAllen line, which should mean that the shipment here is going to increase to the point where we should, and we are, seeing this thing want to upgrade. Now, in other news, I've been thinking about how we're going to get this machines production going, and I feel like if things go well, we can probably use this sawmill to also provide the planks for this machines production. And that's easy enough to do, right? We can go in here, we can go to streets, we can get ourselves a small country road or a medium country road, whatever we want to use. I think we'll swap this guy out for a medium country road because I think the speed limit is, yeah, a little bit faster, which is probably for the best. We can extend this thing pretty much straight across here, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Nice straight road. It's going to connect into sort of the top end of Mesquite, and it can link over to the factory. Although I will say that we will probably need to increase the amount of logs coming through here kind of considerably at some point. And I don't think I want to put enough trucks. I mean, this thing can produce up to 1,200. It is now producing up to 1,200. I don't know that I want to put enough trucks on these roads to move 1,200 logs. That seems like it would be a really bad idea. So we might do a little train here. It might be a little back and forth. It might be kind of interesting. We'll check that in a second. This is the road I was talking about, though. Just a very, very simple straight shot from here through the top end of Mesquite around the factory here. But then I got thinking about the steel, and I was trying to figure out what we would do and how it would work and what the best way to do things would be. And I realized we have this guy over here. And this, in case you have forgotten, is for this guy. It is for my giant Oklahoma steel line, which is doing very well for itself. It's still a giant train. It's losing a bit of money right now, but it'll make some when it's good. But what's interesting about that is that these guys aren't actually being maxed out. Their shipment is still 400 of this and 400 of this. And I think that's because the place we're shipping it to is somewhere around here. It's this guy. This guy is only needing 400 of each. So this needs to level up, basically. The shipment, essentially, it's because of the consumers. Salem Tools Factory is requesting 200 of this. And if we go to Salem Tools Factory, its shipment isn't very good. Basically, if we can start moving more tools out of this factory, things will be better. It's interesting, though, because Salem is requesting 678 tools. Wow. that's a lot, actually. Good Lord. I'm a little confused on that, actually. So 204 in the shipment. Salem Tools delivery is 418. What are you actually doing then? So is this thing just, I mean, consumers shipping 100% to Salem? I don't quite get this number then. If Salem has demand for 673 tools, how is this being maxed out at 201? I mean, suppliers, this guy's 100%. Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a really, really weird one. I guess maybe right now it can only ship out that much. Do we have other consumers that want tools? Oklahoma City wants tools. Is Oklahoma City getting tools? It isn't. I guess we do that. I guess Oklahoma City could use some tools, which is fair enough. Wasn't really planning on doing this. I wasn't really looking at doing anything down this way today, but we'll do this real quick because I want to see if I can level this thing up at all. So new line from here. And I don't know where in here happens to want tools. And this has also just reminded me, I want to play around with trams a little bit at some point. And I also want to look into public transport because a lot of my trains are being overwhelmed, but that'll be a thing for another episode. It's right here in the middle that happens to want tools. There's nowhere in here getting anything right now. Oklahoma City wants 6 things entirely based on public transport connections. Good Lord. Okay, well, let's give them some tools and make them a little bit happier. We'll go for this road right here, and that should be fine. So new line from the exchange going to right about there. So it loops in, goes out the main road. That's going to be, well, it's going to be a traffic nightmare, basically, but that's all right. So road cargo, Oklahoma, that's how you spell that, right? And it's going to be tools delivery. And Oklahoma is apparently that sort of light green color there, so that's fine. I'm interested to see how this plays out, I guess. yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how this plays out. So tools delivery to Oklahoma. What does it have demand for right now? 66 of them. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that right now, but we'll figure it out. So tools can be moved on this guy. Let's do 10 of them, I guess, for the time being. We'll paint them the same green color because we haven't started changing up our lines down this way. And we'll go to tools delivery right there. I also want to make sure that my tools delivery line is doing what I want it to do. So at the exchange, you are only going to be loading up on tools. And if we go ahead and run things now, and we look at our numbers, our shipment is now increasing, which is great. So this thing might end up leveling up. I don't know. It's definitely, that number's definitely gone up kind of considerably. And yeah, we do have some good numbers climbing in here as well. So for whatever reason, I guess that's just how we're doing things, is the numbers I just need to ship to more places. That's going to be frustrating because this road is so busy. This road is so busy. Does this, I wonder, do we want to change this into a 6-lane road, like a 6-lane country road rather than the one with the trees on it? I feel like it probably makes sense, right? Just give it a few more lanes so there's more dedicated turning lanes and all that good stuff. We'll do the same thing here. We'll see how that plays out. That might help my traffic. It might not. This thing is slowly getting some stuff out there. It's slowly getting somewhere here as well. So hopefully we will see this thing level up at some point. I would imagine it'll be when Oklahoma wants a little bit more. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll leave this be for the time being. We'll head back to what we were doing before, which was the machines production thing. So long story short, before I get distracted, these guys are not being maxed out. Now they might end up being maxed out if that steel factory was to go ahead and upgrade. But my thinking is I could probably just steal some coal and some iron from these guys, bring it over to, well, somewhere potentially down here, and then bring that steel over to this guy. And then we could use the slag from this to make construction materials, which could go to San Antonio, which could go to Mesquite, which could hopefully get down to McAllen at some point. McAllen, by the way, still not getting any food. That's a little bit sad, but you know what? They'll get there eventually. That's what I'm thinking we could do. So let's figure out some roads here, because we have these windy roads that are probably, well, they're decent enough, but we can make them better. Now, I will say this might be another example of something that would probably be better done by train, but I think I'm going to sort of stick to my guns on this and just go with these sort of windy roads here. This one in particular, I sort of want to change up though. I might just take out this entire stretch of road and redo it. I still want it to go along the cliffs. I'm still kind of interested in that. I still kind of like the aesthetic of roads going along these cliffs. So what I might even do is a road sort of from here to there. So it's a little bridge over that gap. That's completely pointless. There's absolutely zero reason to do this, but it might look cool. And that's sort of what I'm going for with this. So I think that right there, I don't think it should be a steel bridge. I think it should be this. So it's kind of like an older road. I think that's pretty cool. And then what we can do is sort of free form a little road this way. This is sort of, sort of calling back to that one road we had right at the start of the series that was going up a cliff. And then, we got rid of not that long later. So we'll do this. We'll have it sort of curve around like that. That seems pretty good. That's a good looking road. It'd be slightly terrifying, but it's a good looking road. And then over this way, I'm kind of wondering, can I get another bridge in here? It is a thing I can do. You know what? I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I will absolutely allow it. We'll do this. That looks great. It looks so stupid, but we're doing it. We're doing this. Bring you out of there. Bring you sort of straight along like this. And can I get that to be a nice little curve around? I absolutely can. There we go. I think it looks good. I think it's an interesting road, and that's what we're looking for. I'm also going to swap it out for a medium country road, which is a little bit bigger and a little bit faster. I can only get it upgraded to that point though, which is a little bit disappointing, but you know what? It's higher speed for the most part, and that's okay. So we're going to have a truck depot down here. We're going to have a truck depot here, and then we need to Well, we actually need to bring it down here. So do I want to do a road that comes the entire way down this coastline? I kind of do. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of thinking we do want a road that comes down this coastline. And you know what? I think that's a pretty good looking road. It's got way more bridges on it than it realistically needs, but it adds character. And that's what we're doing here. We're adding character, because obviously that's important in Transport Fever 2. That's the reason we're all here, is to add character to everything we're doing. Now, let's go ahead and get ourselves some truck stations. I think what we'll do is get ourselves a few platforms. I don't know that we're necessarily going to need all of these platforms, but we're going to give this a shot and see how this works out. This might be a terrible idea, by the way. This really might be a terrible idea, especially if that steel mill that's providing the tools for Salem and Oklahoma does happen to upgrade. This is probably going to be a really bad idea. So we'll see how things work out. But for the time being, this is going to be the plan. So we'll do another truck stop right about there. And so that'll be picking up the iron and the coal. It's going to bring it all the way down to this guy. And I guess what we could do is have a single station for dropping all of that off, and then another one for picking up the steel on the other side. So we'll do the drop off right about, that was definitely the wrong button. We'll do the drop off right about here. I think that's pretty solid. And then the pickup on the other side is going to be slag and steel. Now the slag's not going to be going very far, which is great. I think we'll still do the 6 platforms just because we sort of can. So we'll go for right about here for the 6 platforms on this one. Something a bit like that should be all right. Of course, we have an autosave coming through, so it's going to slow things down, but totally fine. We can make it work. It's good. It's like I've said before. It's better to have too many autosaves, I think, than to not have enough. I've played enough City Skylines 2 with mods and City Skylines 1 with mods to know that it's definitely, you know, I'd rather need them, or rather, I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. And just like that, we have all of the lines set up. We're picking up some iron right here. We're picking up some coal right here. We're going to bring it all down and drop it off right here. That's going to be turned into slag and steel. The slag is going to be picked up and brought down this way. The steel is going to be brought elsewhere, though it looks like I haven't set this up properly. So let me manage this line, because I have done it slightly wrong. So 1000 Oaks Annex is 1, 2, 3. And then if we look at the steel one, manage line, it is going to be moving over to platform 4 and 5 and 6. So now that's set up properly. That's better. This guy's only going to be loading up on steel and then unloading steel at the other end of things. So now we're good. The slag gets moved down to here, turned into bricks. We'll deal those out shortly. The steel continues its way the entire way through Mesquite and up this way and gets dropped off here at Mesquite Central. We have some planks due to come up from down this way that are going to be going into Mesquite Central as well. And then from here, we have machines delivery goes down through and into Miramar. We just happen to need the vehicles. So let's figure out what we can do. This is shipping out, it's producing 600, but it's only shipping 400. So reasonably, we could say that what we want to do is get this line. So Wichita iron to steel and Wichita coal to steel. We want both of those to have a rate of about 200. And you know what? 201, 208, that is fine. There are 23 vehicles in the iron to steel line. There's 13 in the coal to steel line. They are going to head out and start doing their thing. And hopefully, if we look up this way, we should start to see, and we are starting to see, some coal get dumped into there. We're seeing some iron get dumped into there. We should see shipment here increasing, which we are. So this is going to level up and be able to produce 1200 coal. Same with the other guy, I would assume. It is going to be in a similar spot. Absolutely. Not bad. Not bad at all. That is exactly what we're looking for. So now that we're bringing those things down, we can go ahead and look at some more of our lines. So this can produce 200 slag, 200 steel. So if we look at these guys, it is going to be a similar story. We want this line to be at 200. We want this line to be at 200. So we'll go ahead and get some vehicles to make that happen across the board. All right, so if I've done everything properly, and it looks like I have, we have got planks that are ready to go up to the machines factory. We should have some steel coming in eventually. It's going to take some time because all these vehicles still need to get out there, and that is going to take some time. But everything is now set up the way I would want it to be. The only thing I'd like to do is make sure that we're bringing machines down into McAllen, which has a demand of 115. It also wants goods, also wants fuel. It can wait on those. The machines delivery is kind of going to be my priority. So I think what I'm going to do is put a stop for machines right about there. And we're going to set up another line to bring those down here. So we're going to say new line. We're going to say, I don't really think it matters. We'll do platform 5 and 6 for the pickup on this. We'll actually do platform 6 specifically on this, because then we'll have them loaded onto the 2 platforms there. And then for a new stop, it's going to be all the way down to McAllen. It is going to be right down to there. It was 115, I think, was the number I was looking for. So that's pretty substantial, but that's okay. Road cargo, it is McAllen, and it is going to be machines delivery. We want to get that thing painted up the right color, which I think is, I want to say this one. I think all of my McAllen lines have a different color. Can I, you know what? It doesn't matter. They all, this one's a slightly different color. I don't know what color it's, is it supposed to be that one? No, it's definitely not supposed to be that one. I don't know what color it's supposed to be. You know what? They can all be this color from now on. So now they are all actually the same color. So McAllen Machines Delivery, you are going to be picking up nothing but machines right about there, and that should be solid. So what we can do is get enough vehicles to get this to 119. So let me just have a look at this line. Let me pin it. Let me go to here and let me go buy vehicles. Let me get some of you guys. Give me 15 of them for the time being. Let's paint them up in, I want to say that color. I don't know if that is a good color for the line. Is that better? I don't really know if it matters. It really doesn't matter what we go for the machines one. I don't remember what color I did go for with the machines. So you know what? We'll do that. That'll be fine. And they can go into the McAllen Machines Delivery line. Gives us 101. You know what? Give me 2 more of those, because I think it was 119. Give me 2 more again, and that'll be fine. So that's a little bit future-proofed, which is fine. So now, in theory, if this thing gets up and producing, the shipment is going to be exactly where we want it to be. Our consumers are going to be there. It's just that we are probably not going to have enough planks, for one. We're definitely not going to have enough planks. This guy, I mean, consumers-wise, we're not even getting enough over to there. So yeah, we're going to need to improvise a little bit, is what I think we're going to need to do. And I did mention I wanted to do that train line from down here. I don't know that I want to do that. I don't know that I want to do the train line is definitely maybe not the word I'm looking for. I just might not have a choice, because this guy is producing 1,200. We're shipping 800. We're not transporting all of it. I feel like it's either a big old train line or it's just a lot of trucks. And I think putting a lot of trucks in here would be a terrible idea. I also don't know that a train line is a better idea, but I think a train line is kind of what we're going to have to go for. So let's very quickly just get ourselves a cheeky little train line down here. So we'll do a little bit of road there. We'll get ourselves a cargo terminus station. It needs to be a nice long one. It needs to be high speed. It really only needs one. It is going to be one train going back and forth, I think. I don't think it needs to be more than that. I'm going to be honest. I'd be very surprised if we need to do more than just a single train. So it's going to sort of point that way, which means it's going to have to go into a tunnel, and it's going to live sort of up here as the arrival point. This really might be a weird line to do, but I'm kind of curious to see how it goes actually. So we'll do this, and that seems fine. It could be a longer platform. I don't think it's going to need to be. And this is just going to sort of come straight through to there. Yeah, that's going to be really, really odd, actually. It is going to be really, really odd, but we're going to go for it. So we don't need parallel tracks, which is great. This is just going to go in a very nice straight line here. A very nice straight line here. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. Oh, it's Well, that's really not what I'm looking for at all, but sure. Can I just continue to push it into the mountain? What is it going to do? So it wants to be a bridge. I wasn't expecting this, but I'm also not entirely against this. It's weird looking. It might be a problem that it does seem to want to go uphill, but you know, I'm kind of liking the stacking that we have going on here. So you know what? I'm going to allow it. It's fine. We're just going to go for it. And I wonder if I can make that look a bit less weird. Let's bring you back a little bit. And let's just, let's see if we can just extend this out slightly so it's a little bit less steep. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Something a little bit less steep. We'll go from right back here. We're going to go, that's a road. That's not what I'm looking for. We're going to go from right about here to right about there. And it just makes the bridge longer a little bit. Do I want to use the old bridge? Does it have more character? It kind of does. I could use this. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Maybe not. I think we use the modern one. I think that's what we go for. So we'll do that. Bit weird looking. Definitely, definitely a choice is what we've done here. But you know what? We're going to stick to it. Now, how are these going to come together? That's the real question. Can I just do this? I guess I can. Do I like that? Not really. Is it necessary? Debatable, but it's what we're going to do. So that's how we're going to connect this. That's so stupid looking. But I guess this is maybe the downside of the mod that I've got, right? Is the fact that I now need to do these giant, ridiculous train lines. Or these, well, that does look so dumb. It's so stupid. I mean, I could just do a road that does the same thing, you know? But this is kind of cool. I have to be honest. This, I'm kind of here for it. So let's figure it out, man. I don't know about this. Let me just let me just get a train on here and see what happens. And I guess in terms of trains, I've got some choices now, right? We still have some decent electric ones. It's probably going to be an electric train that we go for, but we have some choices. We have some diesel ones as well that I don't completely hate. We've also got some multi-unit things. We have this guy. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know about this. I really don't. But you know what? We're going to go for it. We're going to go for this one. Just to be a bit different. We don't usually use this one. So we'll go for this one. And then the wagons are just going to be these. So flat cars with side stakes. So I'll tell you what, I want to paint this guy. I don't know what color I want to paint this guy. I'm not going to lie. Bright orange is definitely a choice. Maybe, I don't know about that color either. What about, what color am I using? Is it this color I'm using for the planks? That looks hideous. You know, let's stick with a nice dark red is what we'll go for on that. And then for the wagons, we'll go for this. Yeah, we'll go for that. That looks fine. Maybe something a bit darker would be better, but we'll go for that. And I kind of want my capacity to be, do I want to max this out? I don't know that I do. I don't know that there's any point. I think we're going to go a little conservative on this. We're going to do 294, which I think is going to be longer than the station. I can't remember. We're going to do one. And we're going to start with this. All right. We're going to start with the one train and see what it can do. We are going to do a new line. It is going to be from here. It is going to be to there. It is going to be loading up on logs. It is going to be unloading logs. And that is it. To train cargo, we're going to call it McAllen. And we're going to call it logs to planks. And that'll be fine. And then the McAllen line, I don't remember what it was. I think it was this. That'll be fine. That's what we're going for. So let's put you on that line and see what you can do. This is instantly starting to get some logs in there, which is great. This guy is doing what it can. I'm curious to see how this goes. And I'm kind of thinking, I mean, let me test something here. So what is your rate is 766. Yours is 538. Interestingly, between the two of them, That does come to 1,200. It's over that, to be honest. It's more than 1,200, but does that mean I need to keep both of them? Oh God. Oh no. Oh, that's unfortunate. So basically we want 434 would be the rate on this one to balance that out. So I can get rid of some of these vehicles at least. So if I get rid of like 5 of them and bring this number down from 537 to 450, if I get rid of one more, 432, that's okay. It's 2 less than I'd want it to be, but that's okay. Because what we should now be doing is providing enough logs to this guy. Sort of. This might, I don't know about this. Regardless, that's what we're going to do. Let me have a look up here. Are we making anything? I honestly have no idea. I want to say that at the moment, we have never once... Oh, there's our problem. That is a lot of traffic. And it's all from Thousand Oaks as well. That's a bit rough. It's also a bit rough because I can't upgrade it here. That is so much traffic. That is so much traffic. Good Lord. Okay. We're going to need to do something about that. Oh boy, we're going to need to do something about that. Okay. I wasn't really wanting to do much more traffic stuff. I was about to wrap things up, but I think we're going to need to just pause for a second because the game runs a little bit faster when I do. And I'm just going to, I'm going to punch a road through here, I think. So let me get you and let me do something like this. And that should be fine. Let me do something like this. And then let me do something like this, I guess. I don't know if this is going to be a good connection. I don't know if it's going to be used much, but it's what we're going for. So this is going to sort of loop around that way. This goes straight across here, and that's fine. And then what we can do is put a road right about here. Take out the 2 parts at the end and connect those together kind of nicely like this. So that gives us a shot over to the highway. We do have vehicles that are now going out that way, which is great. We could also probably reconnect you because I think that's only fair. I hope no one's using that road. They're not. So we'll see if that helps. I'm kind of hoping that that'll take some of the stress off of the roads down here. There's actually nothing of mine using this road now, which is great. This road's obviously the interstate thing. Still going to be kind of busy, but at least now we sort of have dedicated highway access, which I think is going to be much better. In fact, I would almost be tempted, and this might be a bad idea because it does create sort of a 4-way intersection, but if I did this and I sort of just punched that road sort of straight through, this is going to act as another connection to Thousand Oaks, which I'm not against having. Although it looks like we could sort of go a couple of ways with this. We could go that way, and we can also go to the other one as well. So what if we do this? And I don't know if I can do this. Is that? No, that's gonna look hideous. It'd be nice if this had City Skylines 2 kind of roads. Not gonna lie. Makes me wonder what a Transport Fever 3 would look like though. Definitely curious about that one. Regardless, that is now a straight shot across there, which is great. So again, that's going to take traffic sort of away from some of the other roads and should make things a little bit easier. Looking in here, we still don't have any steel getting delivered. Let me just double check that I've got everything else set up properly. Looking up this way, we do. Yeah, we've got some steel waiting around. We actually have a lot. That's potentially problematic. Although in saying that, I have to imagine most of my trucks for that line were probably stuck in traffic. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I think we'll be okay. And speaking of being okay, this guy just made $4.3 million for a remarkably short run. So I think we're going to be doing all right here. I definitely think we're going to be doing all right. Looking down this way, this thing is doing pretty good too. This is shipping everything it could be shipping. Transport's actually not quite good enough, which is surprising. I'm not going to lie. Transport is only 86%, which is, it is weird because this thing is able to do 800 per year. These guys can do 400, so it should be 100%, but regardless, it's going, I guess. McAllen is doing McAllen things. It is just traffic central, apparently. That's actually kind of surprising. I wasn't really expecting McAllen to just have a massive traffic jam in the middle of it, but apparently that's what it does. Apparently that's McAllen for you. Maybe we should build a little ring road here. It might not be a terrible idea. So we'll bring a road out like this. We can chop out these roads because we're not really going to be using them. Bring something sort of straight across here as well. Yes, it gets rid of some buildings, but then if we upgrade this guy, that now gives us a way to sort of avoid that main sort of central part, which I think is good. I'm also going to bulldoze this and redo that road because it should give us a much more sort of level thing, which is great. We're going to bulldoze all of this as well and redo that one, so it's much more of an even slope. Take those out and smooth everything, and we'll see if anyone uses that. I'm not 100% sure that they will, but it is a way to sort of avoid that main part of town. And then if anyone wants to go down this way, I mean, that's going to be slightly trickier, but they can figure that out. Oh, now this is a good note to end on, I think. This sawmill has just leveled up. Its production is increasing. Its shipment is increasing as well. We've got things going out to all of its consumers. And we should have, if I'm not mistaken, another 280 logs on the way via that train. We should, and we do, also have this guy now shipping out the full 1,200 logs per year. So the train should fill up more regularly. These guys will now be used a little bit more as well. So we're just producing more in general from this guy, which is great news. So that should mean that we have more planks going to everybody as well. So the machines can ramp up a little bit. The steel, hopefully at the other end of things, will ramp up a little bit. I actually want to just see, does this hit 5 million with a full train? Nearly 4.78. So very, very close. Some very, very good numbers there. Really, really happy about that. And then we're starting to see machine production up this way. So we should see, hopefully, this machines factory start to do some good things as well. Of course, we don't have any destinations for these new bricks, but we'll have to come up with something for those. We could go over to Mesquite, but that's not going to be a thing for today. And then looking at the steel mill, we're actually not transporting quite as much as we could be. So we're only producing 322 right here. Now our shipment is still 200. I think that's because this guy is going nowhere right now, which is completely fine. And this guy is just starting to crank out the machines as well. So shipment will increase, but I do think we probably want to look into why the suppliers are not doing so good here. And if we go and have a little bit of a look, this is producing 800, transport is 81%. If we look at your consumers, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So 400 each, basically. So this line here needs a rate of 400. So if we go and we manage these vehicles, it's 330 right now. If I throw 2 more onto that line, that's going to bring us to 382. Put another 2 on there, brings us to 433. We'll sell one of them. I think that'll bring us down to about 408. That's perfect. And then if we look at the iron ore, I'm assuming similar story. Consumers 4 and 4. We're doing, yep, we could be doing more. All right, so this guy needs to be from 348 to basically the same thing, 400. So give me another 3 vehicles in that line. That brings us to 393. Give me 1 more vehicle on that line. Brings us to 408. So that's perfect. They should now be bringing as much of their resources down to this steel mill as is possible. So production on this guy should get maxed out. Transport is a little bit higher now as well. So basically, once we start moving this construction material into any of the towns, and once we start moving more of the machines into their final destinations, that thing should level up, which is absolutely what we're looking for. So before we wrap things up, I want to do one last little thing. I want to see how Transport Fever 2 handles roundabouts. So I'm going to place 2 of them. I'm going to put one right about here and then delete the roads on the inside because obviously they're not needed anymore, and I'm not 100% sure how the game's going to handle that, but I want to find out. It looks interesting, to say the very least. And I'm going to put another one just way up here, because I figure it's you know, a couple of little experiments here to see how it goes. We'll stick out the roads in the middle, and again, we'll see how that goes. Apparently, I've just disconnected a route. I find that hard to believe. So road vehicle has no path. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out, buddy. Can you turn around? There you go. There you go. See, it's not so bad. Guy was about to freak out about nothing, is what he was going to do there. I would, however, just like to fix one little thing here, because this is bothering me. Put that there. Take this back. And then I guess somehow we want to connect to that. So from this side going to there, I don't know if that's going to be good or not, but it does slope a little bit better, which is kind of what I'm looking for. Same thing on this side. I think we'll take that back and just redo the road connection, so it sort of eases down to it. These ones look fine, and that can now go away. So we'll see what happens, I guess. I don't know if we needed 3 lanes. I don't know if we'd need 2. I've really got no idea. I just kind of want to see how traffic in this game handles it, or if it's better for it, or if it's worse for it. I've got no idea. So, I mean, it's looking worse already. I'm going to be honest. It's looking like it's made it considerably worse. So that's worrying. That is, definitely doing me a concern right there, is what that's doing. Definitely, definitely a little bit concerning. I do wonder, you know, we'll give it a chance. We'll give it a chance. We'll see what happens. Most of that's civilian traffic. It's not my traffic. It's fine. Anyway, let's go ahead and leave it there for today. We're making some pretty good progress in this area. We're actually starting to see machines backing up a little bit over here because McAllen is apparently not picking them up. I don't know where these vehicles are. Oh, they're stuck in traffic in the middle of Miramar. Oh, do I need to upgrade that to have more lanes? Is that something I want to do before we wrap things up for today? You know what? That's the last thing we're going to do for today. Let's get an extra large street through the middle of Miramar just to try and fix things a teeny tiny little bit. Going to be losing some pretty big buildings in doing this, but at the very least, we should hopefully end up with traffic able to get around a little bit better. So something like that should be solid. Looks fine to me. I think this could probably be upgraded as well, just because it does sort of lead down to this thing, and that should be all right. This is fine as it is. I think it could be upgraded. I guess we should, just to be nice about it. So we'll upgrade to there with a few more lanes. We'll smooth this out as well, and that seems good. So that'll hopefully help traffic along a little bit. But that is going to do us for today. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.